Okay, Oak Rovers, this is going to be a second video to help you solve multi-step equations that have the distributive property in them. This problem is going to be a little bit different because I'm going to have the distributive property on both sides of the equation. Now the problem this time is -5 minus, and then inside parentheses, 15x minus 1. It's going to be the same as 2 times inside parentheses 7x minus 16, and then I'll have a minus x. Just like before, the first step is to use the distributive property to get rid of the parentheses. Now the thing that's a little bit tricky about this problem is I'm going to have to distribute a negative sign through the first set of parentheses. So I want you to notice that I'm really distributing that negative sign because there's no number really in front of it. If I have a negative sign or minus and then something inside parentheses, what I really distribute is just the negative sign. So if I take the negative sign times 15x, I get negative 15x. If I take the negative sign times a negative 1, I get positive 1. Let's look at the other side of this problem, the other side of the equal sign. So just like before, now I'm going to distribute a 2 through the parentheses. 2 times 7x should be 14x, and 2 times negative 16 is going to be negative 32. And then after I do that, I still have a minus x. Let's see what that looks like after I do the whole problem. The negative 5 stays the same. Negative times 15x is minus 15x. Negative times negative 1 is positive 1. Then I have the equal sign. 7 times 7x is 14x. Let me say that again. 2 times 7x is 14x. 2 times negative 16 is negative 32. And then I have my negative x. So I've gotten rid of the parentheses with the distributive property. The next thing I'm going to do is combine my like terms on both sides of the equation. On the left side of the equation, I have a negative 5, a negative 15x, and a positive 1. I'm going to combine my two numbers, which are positive 1 and negative 5. When I combine them, I get negative 4. The negative 15x is going to stay the same, so the left side of the equation is just going to be negative 4 minus 15x. On the right side of the equation, I have 14x, negative 32, and negative x. On this side of the equation, I'm going to combine my 14x and my negative x, and that's going to make 13x, excuse me. So let's see what it looks like after I combine my like terms. Like I said, negative 5 and 1 make negative 4 minus 15x. The other side, 14x and negative x make 13x, and I still have the negative 32. Now I have just a two-step problem or a multi-step problem, but I have a variable on both sides of the equation. So now let's look at this. I have 13x's over here and negative 15x's over here. I have more x's on the right-hand side. I'm doing step 3 right now, which is isolate the variable. And the first step of step 3 is to get the variable to one side of the equation. Since I have positive x's over here and negative x's over here, let's just get all my x's to the right side. I'm going to do that by getting rid of negative 15x. To get rid of negative 15x, I have to add positive 15x. But whatever I do to one side, I need to make sure I do to the other side also. On the left side of the equation, I have negative 4, negative 15x, and positive 15x. That's just going to be negative 4. On the right side of the equation, I have 15x, 13x, and negative 32. That's going to be 28x minus 32. So I've gotten my variables to the right side. Now I've got to get all my numbers to the left side. The way I'm going to do that is by getting rid of this negative 32. I do that by combining it with a positive 32. But whatever I do to one side of the equation, I need to do to the other side also. Negative 32 and positive 32 on my right side make 0. So I'm just left with 28x. Negative 4 and positive 32 make positive 28. So on the left side, I have 28. Now I can undo multiplying x by 28 because I'm going to find out what one of the variables is equal to by undoing the multiplication or division to the variable. So I'm multiplying x by 28. The opposite of that is dividing by 28. Remember, whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other side. Now 28 divided by 28 is just 1. So I'm just left with x on the one side, and 28 divided by 28 should be 1 on the other side. So my answer to this problem is x equals 1. Now, the big thing I want you to notice, again, like on all the other problems I've shown you, I have the numbers kind of in a line. My variables are in a line. My variables are in a line. When I have negative 32 and positive 32, I put them right on top of each other. If you do that, it's really easy for you to see what you're combining and what you're not combining. And it doesn't get confusing at all for yourself or for the teacher or anybody else who's looking at your work. So make sure you're very, very precise when you show your work. That's going to be the most important thing as you do more complicated math. Hopefully this video helps. If you have any questions, make sure you ask me tomorrow when you get to class.